I would like to talk chi. I want to talk chi power. I want to talk ki. You gotta have the key to the energy. Inner chi, inner ki. Energy is your inner key. You know, watching this Star Wars, was it Boba Fett? And then they got the Mandalorian and all that stuff. I mean, and you know, they keep giving you pieces of the key, the energy. You know, they got the Jedi, which of course is the Judah. You know, we need a lot. I mean, we need our full armor, my naga. You know, I mean, number one, we got to keep the code, KTC. You know, our framer, our shaper. You know, that which they call wisdom. You know, Mama gives you the key to the key. So let's dig on it. You know, anything we talking dragon, you know, is energy. You know what I'm saying? So fire, water. You know, they got all these are elements of the key. You know, all these are keys to unlock your full potential, man. So, hey, fair use in their caboose. Let's dig on some of this inner key drop and let's see if we can unlock some things together. You know, we keep the code, so now it's time to unlock. We need the key. Let's start with this demonstration here, and then we're going to get into some great stuff. Love to Natural by Law. So much great work the bro's doing, man. Go dig on it, man. And the bro's giving you so much of that key, man. So let's go. Key power. We're going to need your help, Playboy. Let's go. Keep that. Yeah. And you see these guys in the back is getting just blown back, man. That power's going right through these people, man. I mean, where is it coming from? Is he making this up? You think they're all just BSing and just creating some type of, you know, spectacle, my naga? I mean, or is there this power, this invisible power connected to what they like to call static energy and this, you know, these energy fields, magnetic energy in their key? These guys in the back are getting blown to bits, man. Yeah, man, he just playing with him. You know, you see him start tapping his left and right. He just playing with him. Look at that guy in the back. Look at that guy. Keep out. They're like, all right, we're going to switch it up this time. Switch formations. You ain't got to touch nobody. You're getting hit with the key. You're getting hit with that key. Whoa. It's like he put a wall up for this dude. Let me back that up, man. It's like he's putting a wall up of key. All I got to say is that these people are not you, but they've learned from you. So imagine, man, with your power, my noggin, you know, this is over here, you know, this is a cakewalk, you know what I'm saying? Now imagine your united power. Imagine a city full of Nagas with that key. Imagine the key type of grids that can be put up. He just put a wall up. Dude stopped right there in his tracks. Got hit with that key wall. We go right here. Wall. Yeah, see that wall? He's doing that key dance on. Man. You think it's play? Or do we got the key? Oh, he building it up for real, for real. Hey, some people still down. He had to make sure everybody was good. Some people still down from that last wall he put up. You had to go check on people. You got hit with that wall. The Nagas, I give you key. So what's key? Key, right? They can spell it with QI. They can spell it with a KI. They can spell it with a CHI. The concept of key, as it's written CHI, you know, this is where they're getting that China. It's also where they're getting that Catan, like the Kara, Catan, or Cathay. All this is related to this energy, my naga, this dragon flow, right? The key is also the Ka. We got in that Serpents of Wisdom by Mark Amari Pinkham. You know, that Ka is related to all the dragon clans. The Ka is the key. Ka. The Ka is the Ka. Yeah, the Ka is the Ka. We're going to talk Ka, and we're going to talk a little more about that key and get into that prestigion. But we just talking key, right? So the concept of Qi is important to understanding Taoist philosophy. So this is their energy flow. Qi is difficult to translate into English as there are some misleading parallels. One interpretation is an all-pervading life force. Now you got the Jedi flow, a divine essence that vitalizes the universe. So something about life and vitalization. That's funny. The dragon also represents life and living spirit, renewal, philosophical renewal. They call it in alchemy. We're just talking alchemical dragon. We're talking Qi. So one interpretation is an all-pervading life force, a divine essence that vitalizes the universe. It is not a matter or spirit that gives everything its form and essence, a bit analogous to the Higgs boson that gives all matter its mass. It is strongly connected to feng shui, yin yang, and traditional medicine. Strengthening the flow and accumulation of Qi is a key activity for practitioners. So we got to strengthen our flow, you dig? It dates back a long way in Chinese history, where we're just talking about the Khan of Kana. China is Kana. Probably as early as the Shang Dynasty 3,500 years ago. The notion of Qi was supported by ancient astronomical observations of the direction of comet tails that always point away from the sun. So these dragons are always, popping off away from the sun, they're saying, irrespective of their direction of travel. This gives evidence that the sun is emanating an unseen field or force like that, that like, that like Qi. All right, so the sun is emanating an unseen field or force that like Qi. Ka. Yeah, you gotta go back into what they're doing and what they've taken from the Naga, so you can reverse engineer back into your Hawa, back into your breath, back into your security. We're just talking the Qi. So the feng shui practice takes into account the natural flow of Qi. Let's back it up. The character for Qi, Qi, represents steam rising. In the traditional form, it includes rice under a lid, which makes the derivation clear to see. From Qi, some say yin yang develop. It is the primordial essence of everything. Again, we got to bring it back home, right? Back to the breath, back to your security. The primordial essence of everything is Hawa. So how do you tap in to what Hawa is already encoded, within the atmosphere of life itself, man? That free energy, Tesla be talking about, right? Feng Shui practice takes into account the natural flow of the Qi, where it considered more like an air than a life force. Buildings should be located where there is a meandering but steady flow of Qi. Straight lines in the forms of roads, rivers, power lines give too strong a direct flow of Qi, while obstacles can lead to bad, stagnant Sha Qi, where there is no natural flow. A happy medium should be aimed for where Qi flows in smooth curves and can set up eddies. This can be seen in the design of Chinese gardens as well as in building and city design. Trees are believed to exude an excess of Qi, particularly in the morning, so people can benefit from exposure to the Qi from early morning exercise in a public park. Pagodas were built where the flow of Qi was stagnant to revitalize it. High buildings would block the flow, and one reason why housing was originally at most 2 levels. Modern skyscrapers are bad for flow of Qi. Well, wow, in the hijack's mind, everything looks like skyscrapers, technology, skyscrapers, but it's bad for the Qi. It's bad for the Qi. And effort is expended to mitigate the bad effects, sometimes by designing in gaps for its flow. The HSBC building in Hong Kong is sited with a good view of the harbor and has an atrium to mitigate bad effects. Feng Shui takes account of these flows of Qi, but also takes account of compass directions. Personal meditation and contemplation can build up Qi in the body to bring good health and a long life. How many times does Hawa tell us to meditate on the law, meditate on the code, meditate on doing good to your brothers and sisters, not harming them, right? Meditate on being a good servant of Hawa, the breath, security. How to be hijack free is good for the Qi. Hawa tells us to get our zans on, to keep our Shabbat, to rest. That's a form of meditation, relaxation, right? So that's good for the Qi. Hawa's giving us the Qi. You do it together, your Qi is, magnified. Your Qi is united. The key is to be united. And pretty soon we're going to talk about the Qi buttons. Yeah, there's buttons in your body to release your Qi, for certain ailments. And they're going to discuss a little bit of that right now. The investigation, well, let's get it. In traditional Chinese medicine, the regulation of the flow of Qi in the body can give energy and cure ailments. So when they say the dragon renews, it's because it is good flow. This Qi. The investigation of flow of Qi in the body has led many to consider this as the early understanding of the flow of blood through the body. In fact, the lungs were taken as bringing Qi into the body directly, not via the blood. So that Qi is coming right through the breath, which is why your lungs were taken as bringing Qi into the body directly, not via the blood. Wow. You meditate, you focus on breath, you focus on ha. Wow. You meditate on the code, you meditate on the law. What's the law of life? What's the Qi? In fact, the lungs were taken as bringing Qi into the body directly, not via the blood. For men, the flow of Qi meant the retention of sperm. So you hear this a lot with the knights being chased. You hear fighters that say, we ain't gonna, have any sexual activity before the fight. You got football teams that do this. You got gladiators. You know what I'm saying? This was a big deal. So I've never heard the retention linked with the Qi, but it makes perfect sense because, as soon as that activity is over, a lot of times you just want to pass out, right? You go to sleep, or you charge it up in a different way, but we're just talking about the flow of Qi. So it meant the retention of sperm as it was considered the divine essence. There are Taoist practices to prevent ejaculation during the intercourse that were said to maintain the strength of Qi life force within the body. So they were still popping off without popping off. Chinese men will often roll up their shirts in summer to expose their navel as well as cooling off. This allows for Qi to be absorbed through the navel. Never heard that before. Acupuncture is used to block and control the flow around the body. The Qi is said to flow along meridians around the body, and the needles are inserted at the appropriate place according to the illness being treated. Exercise is considered important to maintain healthy flow. Taji Wan keeps the bodies in good shape and careful control of breathing as practiced in Qigong. So we're going to hear from a Qigong practitioner about the key buttons, in a minute. We're just getting our flow. We always say we're surfing the wave, the flow, the energy, the spiral, the breath, which brings the security, Manai. Breath and security. So this Qigong is a more direct reference to Qi as air breath. Again, wow. The main aim of Qigong is to use long, slow breaths, making the most of each inhalation. Wow. The band Falun Gong movement practiced their own version of Qigong. Taoists have long sought the secrets of immortality, and Chinese emperors have tried to prolong their lives with Qi preservation techniques and elixirs. At a more philosophical level, Qi to Taoists is an all-pervading essence, harmony between everything in the world, not just between people. This is rather similar to the idea of the Force in Star Wars films, right? So, again, we can't make this stuff up, and they're not making it up either. When they're talking about the Force, they're talking about the energy, they're talking about the frequency, the vibration, they're talking about the Qi. Qi is an unknowable life force that only skilled practitioners can use to their advantage, understanding the paramount animating essence, right? So how do you get it activated? How do you get it animated? What's the essence? It leads to a knowledge of how the whole universe works. So if you want to understand Hawa, Managa, you got to have the Qi. If you want to understand the dragon, you're going to have the Qi. Remember in alchemy, though, they don't quite know, just like they don't know what the Qi is. They also don't know what the dragon is, you know what I mean? And it's very important to seeing clearly. Because what they say about the dragon, we know it ain't the serpent, because it ain't no impersonal nature and it ain't no unconsciousness and bursting into consciousness. Qi is intelligent. The serpent, right? The serpent brings everything to life, but also kills everything. That's not the Qi, right? So let's go. Now, the dragon represents philosophical quicksilver, unlike ordinary mercury. So all that hijack is out. The dragon is a mysterious substance. They call philosophical quicksilver that they say the dragon represents this, right? So this philosophical quicksilver that's represented by the dragon is mysterious, of unknown origin. Didn't they just tell us that something else is unknown about this Qi? Understanding the paramount animating essence leads to a knowledge of how the whole universe works. Qi is an unknowable life force. The dragon is of unknown origin. It's mysterious. But we know that this universal spirit is in the blood of that dragon. And we know that the living spirit can be extracted from the dragon, right? Which lets you know what they're doing when they slay you. They're just extracting the spirit to get more life, right? They say the dragon does not represent the living spirit, but it is the vessel in which the spirit is contained. So what they're telling you is that this key is even deeper than the dragon, and that the dragon is a vessel of it, is a vessel of it. So when you see the dragon popping off, when you see these, the fire, the water, the elements popping off, that's only a representation of the essence of something that they can't understand. It's a representation of something of unknown origin to these hijacks. It's of unknown origin. The key is unknowable, but it is life. But the living spirit can be extracted from this dragon. The living spirit, the life force that only skilled practitioners can use to their advantage. So we got to get our skills up, Managa, so we can use our key, our flow, as in Star Wars, as in the Force. But it got to be a force for you. It got to be a force for the Naga. You got to get your skills up. We got to get our skills up to use it to our advantage. Because he was over there boo-bopping them cats with the key without even touching them, right? Well, now we popping off. What is key? What is it for? So you see it spelled CHI or QI or KI. Okay. I mean, this key is going to help us dodge all the hijack. You know what I'm saying? They try to get us sick left and right. They try to, lower our frequency, lower vibration. We're all in the frequency war. I've been fighting off the frequency. Everyone's fighting. Everyone's fighting in this frequency war. Your diet's important. We got to keep everything tip top. Guard your health. Guard your vitality, my nigga. Get your exercise. Get your flow. Fight through it. They want to bring on, their own psychological war, right? Every time you have a cough, someone look at you like you crazy, right? Oh no. Is it the, nah. Sometimes your body needs to reboot. Sometimes, naturally, you have to, charge up, you know what I'm saying? Shut down certain things, get your rest, get your renewal. But your key is going to be there for you. And as Hawa, brings these days closer to your redemption, you need an understanding of what's happening within you. This universal energy, vital life force, or simply energy or inner key. Remember, the G's and C's are interchangeable, right? So the energy is inner key, straight up. Everything in creation is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. In living beings, energy flows not only from physical nourishment, but through the body in pathways known as meridians, like the dragon lines of the earth, same thing, and in energy centers called chakras, or ka-kra. Ka-kra. That ka is the key. Let's go. Ki is the energy of life itself. Hawa. That energy of life itself, we're just talking about the living spirit that can be extracted. You give these people your energy through many ways, through monies, chasing monies, through all these images, all these distractions, all these holidays, all this stuff, all this fear. But you are the vessel. The dragon is the water. The dragon is the power. And the universal spirit is in the blood of that dragon. So we're talking about blood flow, mem sauce flow, and ki flow. Yeah, you know the flow. So the energy flows not only from physical nourishment, but through the body and pathways known as meridians and in energy centers called chakras or chakra. Ki is the energy of life itself, a balance of yin yang, positive and negative, electromagnetic energy, which flows through everything in creation. So ki can possibly be described as an electromagnetic phenomena, as a form of light energy, as a form of bioelectromagnetic energy or electricity. We're talking that power, right? Qigong or Qigong makes or means energy work or energy cultivation in order to become physically strengthened, emotionally connected, mentally focused, spiritually aligned, energetically vitalized. There is work to be done. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic work that will enable us to grow and to manifest a vital physical body, a pure loving heart, and an open creative mind. Anybody need some work? Anybody need that work? You need some mental focus, emotionally connected, not to hijack, but emotionally connected, Manaka, to the frequency. You've been disconnected too long. Spiritually aligned, energetically vitalized. So to become a joyous, healthy, and happy human being, we need to become a dynamic and harmonious mixture of all the aspects of ki. Ki is in a state of continuous flux, transforming endlessly from one aspect of ki to another. It is neither created nor is it ever destroyed. It simply changes in its manifestation. You know, we got that wisdom of Solomon not too long ago, breaking that same thing down, that only to the foolish do they seem to die. Yeah. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Hawa, and no torment will touch them. In the eyes of the foolish, they seem to have died. Nothing is destroyed. Their departure was considered a disaster. Their travel away from us ruined, but they are in peace. Shalom. For even if in the sight of men they are punished, their hope is full of immortality. Why, Managa? Because you have that life. You got that life in your blood. You got that spirit. You are the vessel. And really, you are the key. You are the mystery. And you remain unknown to these hijacks, so they can't tell us who we are. That's why they can't tell us who we're not. Because energy is not destroyed. Only to the foolish. Only to the foolish. In the eyes of the foolish, they seem to have died. But they are in peace. They got that key. It is neither created nor is it ever destroyed. key is. I am that I am. Hawa. Breath, security, secure breath. It is. I am. Let's go. King Kong. King Kong. Uh-oh. Qigong. Qigong. Practitioners have identified many kinds of ki. In our body, there's a ki that we inherit and are born with. This is our original ki, essence ki, or gene ki. It is the fundamental ki of the human body, the root source of metabolism. Its true home is in the lower dantian. The two most fundamental forms of ki are yin ki and yang ki, the primordial feminine and masculine energies, framer, shaper. You see how it breaks down into energy, frequency, vibration. That's why in Christianity, they just give you, this father walking by himself with no, female component, right? No big mama. They've separated mama and relegated her into some, person that makes a cameo from here and there called wisdom, right? But mama speaks for herself. Wisdom is Solomon, mama speaks for herself. Only to the unwise do they seem to die. Only to the foolish. So you have the masculine and feminine energy. Now what they do, the hijack, is they take this and turn it into an idol, something that they can have their own form of masculine, feminine, and they put it all together into an idol called the Baphomet or the Mob. Right. Hijack City. Primordial female and masculine energies. Inner key. Our Qigong practices emphasize the connection to and use of heaven key, and earth key, as well as the key that which emanates from nature, specifically from trees, rivers, oceans, lakes, and mountains. And all of that is the dragon. The trees, the rivers, the oceans, the lakes, and the mountains. So heaven key is taken in the breath. Man, hold up. Inner G is inner key. Again, the G's and C's are interchangeable. Inner G, inner key. Bang. We're just talking that God. That Hawa, look, reveal, breath, is the key, Manak. And it's the key to your security. Before that dragon breathes that fire, wow, giving you that security, that added security, that hook, that foundation, so you can't be moved and blown away. You're anchored in with the breath. You see how all this is key. This is the Shemitic, ancient, Picto, Paleo, Manak. Breath is heaven key. Just another validation, that Allah, Hawa's had us on the right path the whole time, and all praise Allah, because we could be lost in sauce. Instead, we're getting validation on validation on validation and Drop Nation that you got the key, you got the breath. The breath is the heaven key. Heaven, why? Because this is your mama. And your security, the Wah is your father that you got when you came through the entrance. When you walked through the door, you walked with the gom that became the calm like Carmel, like camel. But the camel is the gamo. But you needed a floor plan first. You needed a plan. You needed a family, a house, a ba'at. And you needed a power to activate that house. Strong power. To get your key, your breath, which secures your life force and is your food, your nourishment. Your life force is your food, nourishment. So you can cut off the hijack. You can separate like the firmament. You can separate from hijack city. Now one day there will be no firmament, my naga. You're going to get that direct key. You're going to get that power. You're going to get your powers back. You're going to be one with the upper Shekinah again. The upper breath, the ether. Love to the bro, natural by law. A Lego. The key is the breath. Earth key is absorbed from food, water, air, and Qi Kong or Qigong. Again, these K's, C's, and G's again, right? The K and the G is the same as the CG interchangeable. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, man. So the earth key is absorbed from food. So that's why they say you are what you eat. You're observing the key, right? You're observing the food. Yeah. And when you absorb the food, my noggin, then you gotta think about these meats, right? Because when you eat this meat, you're absorbing the key, right? Good or bad of this animal, right? So it's a dead animal, so you're absorbing dead key. And that ain't, what you need for life. So that water, that air, right? That key gong practice may be called postnatal key. Postnatal, like after you were born, because you're born with a certain key. Then you get postnatal key. The body's true key or total inner key, energy, G's and C's, is the combination of prenatal or original key and postnatal key. We can cultivate purified key in the middle Dan Qian. They're just talking about areas in your body. Now I'll leave a link so you can look it up and see where this key is. All right. The heart channel promotes the circulation of qi and blood and surfaces in the throat to support the breath and the voice. So the heart bone promotes the circulation of the qi and the blood. Not just the blood, the qi and the blood. But remember, the blood, universal spirit, is in the blood of that dragon. So within the blood, you're going to have the key. Why not? You know what I mean? That's why you can't just be giving your blood to these people like that, because they're looking for the key to do what? To create the opposites and to slay the dragon. They want the key to slaying the dragon by the coming together of opposites. And for you to understand what this means, this duality is all a part of thoughthism 101. Duality, right? You're white or you're black. You're this or you're that. You're this or you're that. Huh? Opposites. Let's go. They want to slay the dragon. The heart promotes circulation of the qi and blood and surfaces in the throat to support the breath and the voice. The qi that flows at the surface of the body and protects us is termed protective qi. internal organs have spleen ki, lung ki. And the lungs or lungs are another word for dragon in these, Chinese stories. So the lung is the breath, is also the dragon, the kidney ki, the heart ki, stomach ki, etc. For example, lung ki descends and liver ki ascends. So they balance one another. If you get angry, liver ki ascends, and you may feel this as tension in your shoulders. Oh, and the neck. You got all tense because it ascended from your liver bone. The tightening of your jaw and facial muscles, the constriction in your chest, and the desire to argue and shout. By letting it out constructively by the use of healing sounds or calming yourself down by deep breathing, you can encourage the lung ki to descend, harmonize, and calming it all down. I mean, this is breaking down energy, frequency, vibration. Like, bro, calm your liver down, bro. Calm your liver ki, man. Take a breath, man. Bring it on down. Harmonious, balanced, and free-flowing ki result in health, while stagnant, blocked, or imbalanced ki leads to disease. So you gotta keep the water flowing. And definitely keep the fire burning. By nurturing energy through various Qigong and meridian stretching techniques, we're going to look at a few examples of that. Gentle movements, breathing exercises, and meditation. The ki can be cultivated and harnessed for our benefit. Yeah. So we're going to look at some of this Qigong. They have different applications for it. It combines meditative, focused breathing techniques, movement, visualization, intention, and promote health, healing, harmony, wellness, and a sense of inner joy. And love to my big bro, Judah the Great Jedi, who, has a whole, lesson on, bringing out that ki in your palms and all that stuff, man. So focusing that ki, you know what I mean? But now we can break it up and put it back together again and see that it's all one and that it's unknown and it's misunderstood and all these things because they're just trying to figure out the dragon. They call it the Alchemical Dragon. We just know it as the dragon. The dragon that represents the spirit. It contains the spirit as a vessel because, how does it not represent the spirit if it's the vessel that the spirit is contained? So, I think there's just saying that it's not the dragon is not exactly the living spirit, right? But the dragon is a form that the spirit, takes in battle time, like Psalms 18. Hawa comes down, hears David with fire out of his nostrils, smoke out of his mouth, as a representation or a vessel in which the spirit is contained. In this case, the great spirit. So Hawa can come in battle form and dragon form like Hawa do. Hawa can come in butterfly form, or Hawa can look just like you, right? All of this is the vessel that the spirit is contained. We're just talking ki, the life force. Yeah. Alchemist text mentions a process to identify the spirit or the soul of all things, right? So they over here trying to get your blood of that dragon. They try to identify the spirit, the soul of all things. They keep talking all things. They keep talking universal spirit. We're talking creator. That's when you put it together and you understand that the creator got a code. Because only to the foolish, my nigga, in the eyes of the foolish, they seemed to have died. But their hope is full of immortality. immortality. The dragon, as a fabulous winged being, symbolizes philosophical renewal. Immortality, you are being renewed. The initial pulverizations, whoa, that's that force. The image of the dragon represents the divine mercurial water and its tincturing power. We got water and power. Keep the water flowing. Keep the fire burning. Let's go. We're going to dig on some Qigong techniques, my naga. And then I want to discuss a study, a real life scientific study on this key that will blow your mind, bro. So these purification techniques that, you got in some yoga practices, Qigong, Tai Chi, healing sounds like 432. Why? I'm trying to tell you why put us on this path of energy, frequency, and vibration. Why gave us a formula. So, if we're not talking, the indigenous truth, Presta John, all that flow, the indigenous Naga kingdom, India superior, which always connects to the key, because you are talking China. But where's China? Where's Asia? Where's India superior? If we're not talking the indigenous truth, then we might be talking, orientation. Orientation is very important to your key, especially talking about your dragon line. If we're not talking orientation and flat drop, then we might be talking about frequency, 432, energy. This is what we're talking about today. And if we're not talking that, then we're talking the code, the script, my naga. So we put them four elements together. That's what you have here in Drop Nation. That's our teaching platform. That's our growing platform. That's our tribe up platform. We combine them elements. We keep the code. We keep the code within all we talk about. The indigenous truth, the flat drop 101, the orientation. And you combine all that with the frequency, the 432, the energy. That's what you have, right here in Drop Nation. So that's our flow. All praise the Wah, and we sticking to it. We've been sticking to it because we stick to the code. Because the code is the key. This enables us to build strong foundations, root stability, and support for ourselves, which in turn will then enable us to more easily cultivate and hold key energy, so that ultimately we become a powerful conduit for spiritual light. We are the dragon. You got the glow. You see it all clearly? You see it all clearly. Yeah. So let's go. I'm going to leave this link and, dig on it, man. Dig on it. How far does this key go? Man, this is an actual study. They got key being sent from a distance of 100 meters. I skip right to the conclusion of the study. My bad, y'all, my bad. So, how far can key energy reach? This is a study, looks like 2009. Okay, I think so. At least this article was published in 2009. A hypothetical mechanism for the generation and transmission of key energy. Do you think it's play? This is not play, my nugget. All this is science trying to measure your natural flow. Look at what they're doing, right? Like that Bruce Lee flow, right? Like that one punch flow, right? It's not the knuckles, it's the key. Bruce Lee showing us the key. That means you got the key. You saw how that dude was throwing them around without touching them, right? In the intro. They're studying you. They're studying the key. Look at this stuff. They're measuring the key. They're shooting direct beams of key power. Like Jedi, my naga. Like Jedi, right? You know, I'm going to get some of this. I just want to show you this ain't play. They're giving you their scientific method, which cameras they're using. They're using mirrors to reflect the key. Experiments to show that a mirror can reflect key. Is it play? KO was very sensitive to STO's key. He jumped backwards and fell down when he received key from distances of both 2 meters and 20 meters away. He had him falling down from 20 meters away. At 20 meters, the use of blindfold slightly elongated the response time from that without the blindfold. However, as shown in Table 1, the difference was not statistically significant. The difference between 2 millimeter blindfolded and 20 millimeter blindfolded, 20 meter blindfolded, was not significantly different either. This suggests that key phenomenon is not a hypnotic effect. So they're going to feel the same whether they're closer or far away. And really, I mean, again, love to the bro natural, because, I remember him dropping on just the fact that when you dig on the energy, especially when you connect it with the quantum, distance doesn't matter at all. Distance doesn't matter at all. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. So, you're able to fly, yeah, or you can teleport because, you're everywhere. Energy, frequency. This suggests that key phenomenon is not a hypnotic effect. The result also indicated that key energy does not diverge much with distance. Bang. They're getting the same power. And look at these diagrams. These are people getting hit with that key. Look at her. She flying back. He directing that key, right? Look at him. He's shooting that key. All right, so I'm just saying it ain't play. Let's go. So they did the experiments indoors and outdoors. Look at these guys flying back. Now they're directing the key through the slits. So they got the slits in the little acrylic thing or whatever the case is, and they're directing the key directly through the slits, man. So all this is happening in real time. They're trying it in all kind of ways. Can they, shoot it direct here? Can they, reflect it off these mirrors? Responsive KO in the experiment to determine the wavelength of the key being. So they're trying to measure the wavelength of the key energy. Linear variable interference filter, 400 to 1100 nautical or nanometers. This picture shows how the filter was mounted when additional 1 millimeter aluminum plate covered the slit. STO's key did not reach KO. When the filter was set at 1000 nanometers and STO started to send key through the slit, D2 and D3, after about 1 second, KO was struck down to the floor. Bang. So STO hit KO with some serious key. Knocked him to the floor through the slit. Through the slit. So all this is happening in real time. The relationship between the wavelength chosen by the filter and the inverse of the response time. Blue line is for KO, red line for MH. These data are obtained from those on table 3. For the sake of simplicity, the error bars were omitted. So they're showing you the response times as they're getting hit with this energy, frequency, and vibration. And you see him holding up this 100-meter situation because he's getting hit from 100 meters away. This is not play. The assistant was showing that Ki is going to be sent from 100 meters away. A1 and A3, or A2 and A3, in 2 seconds after Ki was sent, KH started to run backwards from 100 meters away, man. It took 2 seconds to hit her. 1, 2, bang. Now imagine them rolling up on Nagaville. Naga's lined up with that Care Bear stare on them. You know what I'm saying? Shooting them with that Ki. They don't even know what's hitting them. They just getting hit with the Ki. They just getting hit with the Ki. They got formulas to try to figure you out. So when they say it's unknown, when they keep telling you unknown origin, this is why they're doing studies on it. Because it's a mystery. I'm just talking about the dragon, my Naga. Drakan. Yeah. By nurturing energy through various Ki and meridian stretching techniques, gentle movements, breathing exercises, meditation, the Ki can be cultivated and harnessed for our benefit. Well, yeah, they're, they're definitely studying the benefits of this, right? But they're not you. They ain't gonna come to the hood and teach you about Ki. No, they want you to slang and bang, slang and bang. I'm banging this, I'm slanging that. Ain't no one studying their Ki. Ain't nobody eating healthy. All this fast food spots. Ain't nobody exercising like they should. You know what I mean? You got a few, but that's few and far. Like they got us feeling depressed. They got us hustling. We need to get the money. We need to pay rent. No one has time to build their Ki. No one has time to accumulate the Ki. They got too much fear. They got too much fear. So what's their conclusion? Oh yeah. Let's just get it here. Effects of Ki training, because this is really, and then they got to go. Let's get these two, and then I'm gonna jump into some of this Qigong situation with some good practitioners, and then we'll get back into this for the dismount. It's just an introduction to Ki for myself, and for anyone who's interested, because I think everyone should be interested in their life force. The process is called a stimulated emission of radiation. Whoa, they love to come fresh. You know what I mean? That radiation, they talking about the sun and this. And, hey, we're just talking about more Ki power, right? They just said that all these comets are going away from the sun, so the Ki must be some Ki field. You know what I mean? And then they start talking about these gamma waves and radiations and different things, and how how's your melanin, going to respond to all this? You know what I'm saying? This high energy, the hijack can't survive in it. The hijack can't survive this radiation, right? Yeah, man. Let's get it from here. Detection of Ki energy. Now let's discuss the detection of Ki energy. It is possible that a similar stimulated emission of radiation, they call it, might take place in the skin of a Ki receiver. We showed in our previous paper that different parts of the body can detect Ki energy. Therefore, the skin cells have a detector. Now, Are they bringing in melanin? They talking skin. Please believe, my naga, that they're they ain't mentioning melanin right here. But if they're talking skin, then of course it's gonna affect different people with different melanin receptors, right? So I mean that's the magic right there. You bring all that together. It says therefore the skin cells have a detector which can sense near infrared radiation. Assume that the key receiver has the same chromophore as that in the key emitter. If the electrons in such a chromophore are already pumped by the key energy of the receiver, then the similar population inversion of electrons could be established. Then, when an incident, when an incident key beam comes, it would trigger stimulated emission, as in the case of the key emitter. Then the light energy is amplified through the same mechanism. Then, or when the amplified light energy becomes sufficiently great, we're talking that force again. Amplified light energy becomes sufficiently great, it would trigger the nervous system to send a signal to the brain. Then, depending on the signal or the information which the incident infrared radiation carries, the brain would send out the signal to the skeletal muscle to respond. We believe that this may be the mechanism by which key receiver makes a body motion in response to keys sent by the key emitter. In brief, key is generated and transmitted by these electron photon electron conversion mechanisms. Whoa. So the key is constantly changing, right? Constantly moving. So it's converting electrons to photons back to electrons, building up this energy, building up this friction, building up this conversion mechanism. Effects of key training. The laser-like mechanism in the generation and reception of key energy can explain several interesting but hard to explain phenomena which are observed on a daily basis at the school of NBM. You go back, get the full drop, get all these acronyms. For example, in general, students are not so sensitive to an instructor's key energy when they first begin to practice. However, with training, they will become more and more sensitive to the instructor's key energy. So imagine a whole tribe that has to train together to build up their key, right? To build up their Khan energy. Key, Khan. However, with training, they will become more and more sensitive to the instructor's key energy or each other's key energy. Perhaps training may be the population inversion of electrons to happen more easily so that the student's receptivity towards key energy may be enhanced. It is observed that some students are very sensitive to key, but others are not. The difference might be related to the difference of the amplifying power of the key detector at the receiver's skin. Yeah, man, what does the skin have to do with it anyway? What does your melanin have to do with receiving this energy, man? You know it has, you know we, we on to something, my naga, because they're bringing up skin. They're bringing up skin. So all the key stuff they doing, all the skillful practitioners they got, with your melanin in your skin that they're bringing up, amplify the key. Would it amplify the magic? Is this why they always say with a samurai you need at least a drop of black blood, Negro blood, to be a true samurai? Because you can have that true ki. Oh, now we're talking light. Now we're talking lightsabers, though. Now we're talking lightsabers, man. So the difference might be related to the difference of the amplifying power of the key detector at the receiver's skin. Why are some students not sensitive to key at all? This may be caused by the difference of the laser frequencies between the emitter and the receiver. We have observed that the student's key cannot move the instructor. The student's key cannot move the instructor since instructors are always emitting strong key energy. So they are countering the student's key. That's why you saw the students getting blown around in that demonstration. Their receiver might be saturated with their own key energy. If so, their receiver cannot detect a weak key signal from the student. In other words, the balance between the individual's emitter's power and the receiver's gain may be a determining factor, and this balance is affected by training. Students are more sensitive to the key of other individuals when they come to the classroom, not only to key of instructors, but also to that of other friends. This might happen because key energy or near infrared radiation emitted from everyone's body fills the classroom. You can always feel when a real one's in the room, you can feel it. You can feel that key. It activates everyone's electrons in the receiver to the excited level. When the student receives key energy from Master Nishino, that student subsequently can move other students using his or her own key energy, while outside of the classroom they cannot. So they can use and amplify off of each other's key. That's really the essence of tribing up. You can only get so far without a tribe, my nigga. You need others to do that full Care Bear stare, right? You need to trust others. You need to trust each other. You need each other's energy on Kum Kum. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, we keep the code and we practice that first to build our energy up, to build our unity up. So we trust each other. We know we're not going to be bearing false witness on each other, coveting each other's houses, coveting each other's things, not bringing no other power to each other. We just rock with our creator only. We're keeping the code. This is how we build up our tribal key, my nigga, because it fills the room, especially when it's together. It fills the land, especially when it's together. The student subsequently can move other students using his or her own key energy. Probably the student's key level was enhanced and activated by receiving key energy from Nishino. Therefore, the degree of population inversion of excited electrons is increased, and as a result, the intensity of the student's key energy was enhanced. This may be regarded as an induction of key energy and is an interesting subject for future study. Oh, they have to study it. They have to study it. Let's go, man. We're gonna jump right in and see if we can get some more demonstrations and learn as much as we can on this first take, digging on key. And this is something you could never stop learning with, and learning yourself, So this particular practitioner is known as Master Kuan Yin. He's going to break down a few exercises you can do to revitalize yourself and talk some of this key energy. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with this one right here. Oh, yeah. We're talking about your body, the power Hawaii has already given you. We just popping on. If you want to eat healthy, dodging all hijacks, man. Remember, fair use in your caboose bone. Let's get it.
Think about healing. For most of the people, what do you have in your mind immediately? Well, for most of people, of course, go get the pills in the medicine cabinet in your house and somewhere. If you have a little headaches and aches and pains in the body, right? Otherwise, you go see a doctor, and then so get the prescription, and then so go to the pharmacy to get the medicine. So that's what most people think about. When you hear somebody says, well, you know what? Your body has the most powerful medicine for healing everything. And you might say, oh, come on, so how could that be? How can that happen? Well, you know what? That's not only I say so, all the masters, the Qigong masters, and the most powerful Chinese medicine masters in the history said the same thing. And they said the most powerful medicine, it is not from outside, not the pills, not the Chinese herbal soups you drink. It is from within. Qi is the most powerful medicine in our body, helping ourselves to heal, to balance. So, where's the location of this Qi? And how can we activate this Qi to help us to heal? So today, I will take this opportunity to guide you to do a Qi hunting. So I will help you to explore together what is Qi and why it is so powerful, this medicine. And how can we activate this medicine to help us to heal and heal completely. And then we're going to do some practices together. Now, see if you have a paper cut in your hand. Then the other day, you might have a cold and something. The body has the intelligence to know what kind of medicine or qi it needs to fix the paper cut, the wound from the paper cut in the hand, or fix the cold. These two things are completely different things, right? In Western medicine, you need to find different things. For a cold, and you need to get pills to get inside the body. For the paper cut, get a band-aid, right? Or some medicine cream, put on. But here in Qigong practice, you go inside to activate this qi, and this qi has the intelligence, has the wisdom to heal all these things. Now, how to activate this qi then? There's a few.
And you see that this is anti what they want to, line up and get, this tenderoni, what I'm saying? Go get hit up with this tenderoni, right? Because that's going to save you from whatever health issues and whatever, what I mean? Nah. The most powerful medicine is within you. They don't want us to know this. They don't want us to rock with it. They don't want us to heal ourselves, right? You got a $1 trillion pharmaceutical companies. They don't want your natural medicine, right? They don't want you eating good. They dang sure don't want you doing none of these routines, man. But, hey, get the drop. Get the babies out the bathwater and heal yourselves.
New physical movement. Well, in Qigong practice, there's so many Qigong forms and movements out there people are teaching. But you know what? Only a few movements are most effective. Now, why these movements are most effective? First of all, you need to know a little bit about the qi button location in the body. Qi buttons, these qi buttons, they have that hidden power working as the transformers in the body, making the qi flow in the entire system, connecting to every part of the body. And do you know where the locations of chi buttons? There's quite a few, right? Doing some unique movements, you are able to activate these buttons to help you to heal. All the energy buttons, they locate in the joints, in the fingers, in your feet, and in your spine. So when you move your wrist like that, right? You know what? How many energy channels and energy buttons you open? Okay. See, let me show you. So there's an energy button right here, about 2 inches from the second line of your the bottom of the palm. Just put your hand, 2 fingers right over there. So at the end, with the edge of the middle finger, so right here in between the tendons of your hand, this is the energy button for your heart. People who have a irregular heartbeat or high blood pressure, hey, this is the button you can massage deeply, and here along,
How many of my nagas are massaging their palms and wrists right now, man? Hey, these are key buttons. Ain't nobody teaching the naga about the key buttons, man. So, hey, Drop Nation, we right here in the home base learning about key buttons to pop off. Now, that's directly for your heart bone. Let's go.
The bottom of the hand, you have a lot of energy buttons for the heart, for the reproductive organs, for the lungs.
Dodging all hijacks in 4, 3, 2. Oh, man. I mean, look, you start doing, a little bit a day, love to Judah the Great Jedi. You know what I mean? You start building up your energy, building up your life force, your weapon.
In the hand, right over here. This is good for stomach, digestive system, headaches. This is almost the point. It's good for the pains. Most of the body, you can help to stop the pain.
Wow.
Especially the pain in the neck, in the head, and the stomach, and the chest. It can also help too. So now, by moving your hands gently like this, breathing of the universe, holding your hands, the harmony of the universe, doing those movements, you are able to help to open up slowly and stimulate that intelligence of chi to help you. And the elbows, they have a lot of energy buttons connecting to the lungs. For instance, if you have a coughing in the lungs, you know what? Cup the inside part of the elbows. Cup. Like that. To the left side first, go to the right.
Okay.
You are able to stimulate the energy buttons, the chi buttons, to go connect to the lungs, to clear energy blockages in the lungs, in the chest, in the breast, and in the heart. Shoulders. Under the shoulder, on the armpit, there is an energy point connecting directly to the heart. If the heart is not doing very well, the arteries kind of block, cupping the underarm, this area. And especially the left side. That will help you even more.
Okay.
And then, so again, the hips, the knees, the hips has a lot to do with the kidneys. How do I know my kidney, my bones is doing good? Well, look at the hip joints. If your hip joints are doing pretty well, that means your kidneys energy is pretty good. And how about your knees? Well, your knees, there's an energy point, buttons connecting directly to your liver. If your knees are doing good, very strong, no pain, liver energy is very, very good. If you have injuries in your knees, and if you don't heal up your injuries soon enough, then you know what? Gradually, these blockages, you will block the chi flow into your liver. So then sooner or later, your liver is going to have some challenges. You see, all the joints. So those movements in 5 elements Qigong movement will help you to open up this energy channels.
We are opening up the Qi. He goes into, a few more particulars. Let's get it from right here. Hey, I'm loving this. I am loving this. Let's talk about our posture, because a lot of Nagas be slouching and different things, being on these phones a lot, they get you in these crazy postures, your computers, all that stuff. So it's the same practitioner here talking about posture. Let's go. Dodging all hot
California.
Oh, man, I tell you, YouTube, man, used to be really, Anyway, let's go. They went crazy with this stuff.
Yi Lin has had access to a very rare diversity of Qigong techniques. In this video, he demonstrates several techniques and postures for easing back pain, headache, opening blockages, and more. So, if you're not feeling 100% healthy, you better watch this till the end. We got sick because we lose energy. Once we don't have enough energy to operate in the systems, some part of the systems have to shut down. That's the moment we got sick. We feel uncomfortable. When these things continue, then bigger disease will develop in the system. So if you every day spend like 10 minutes like this to practice this simple movement, you have no chance for energy blockages that created in your body. When we talk about Qi, lots of people in the Western mind think Qi is energy. But actually, in the concept of Qi, in the Chinese philosophy, Qi is way, way beyond energy can describe. This Qi has the intelligence to help you to fix any damaged systems, any damaged tissues, and any.
So it's not just your energy levels, man. It's the intelligence itself. It's that unknown, right? It's that alchemical dragon. It's that kundalini, they want to call it, the chakra flow, right? But it's intelligent energy. It's not just, dormant energy that now you got an energy boost. It's alive, man. It's Hawa. It's your breath. It's your security.
Any damaged cells. Chinese doctors in the past have done a lot of studies. And through my over 30 years of studies of Qigong, I found out so many different forms of Qigong and also the movements, the postures, and the ways how they cultivate this Qi. And I found out only a couple dozens of movements are very critical and effective. If you use it properly and you make time to do it, you tune in, you can help yourself to cultivate that Qi very, very fast.
Watch closely.
What kind of things will involve with this practice so that you can activate this Qi? Number one, your breath. Number two, the posture and body movements. Number three, your mind. And number four, sound, the vibration of sound.
Bang.
So now let's start with the breathing. What you do, you focus on your lower dantian. The lower dantian is the energy center behind the navel. And there's some different thoughts. It's below 3 inches below the navel. And here I'm telling you it's behind the navel, 3 inches. When you inhale, you visualize the universal light coming in through the skin and collects in your lower dantian. When you exhale, you invite the stale energy shooting out from every part of the body to the ends of the sky. When you inhale, when you start feeling goosebumps all over your body, that means you are activating the Qi. When you exhale, if you feel that it's difficult to push the energy out from your skin, that means you focus on your skin too much. You need to focus on the ends of the sky. Once you focus at the end of the sky, the Qi shoots out. So then your whole energy communicates with the nature, with the universe. So that's the first part. The second part is about the movement and the body postures. I'll give you one exercise. I want everybody every day to make time to do this one exercise. If you have allergies, asthma, headaches, migraine headaches, shoulder problems, by doing this 10 minutes a day, a couple times a day, within 1 week, the pain is going to go away. And if those people who have more severe problems than that, keep doing that. And recently, I have a lot of success in also people who have lung cancers, and by doing so, and they are in the process of healing. So this is a gift for you for the day. This exercise is very simple. I'm going to take this chair. What you do, you sit way back to the ends of the chair. And keep your spine straight. Then put your hands, both hands, because I'm holding a mic, right? So I'm not able to do that. Maybe next level of development with Qigong, I will have another hand to come out to hold the mic for me. So at this moment, I don't have that level too yet. So put your hands on your laps, and you dolphin the upper part of your spine from the chest up. You do it like this. You stretch your chin, lift up your chin up a little bit, and stretch down like you're scooping a golf ball against your neck, and hold it a little bit tight, not very tight, just a little tight. And then you stretch your neck straight up. And on purpose, you lean back a little. Hold this posture for me. You feel there's a little bit pulling sensation in the muscles, the chest, a little bit pulling sensation along your spine, the muscles in the back. And you hold it for like 5 seconds, and then you repeat. Stretch your chin forward and scoop it down. Hold the golf ball against your neck, and hold it up, and stretch up. And then you still hold your chin down a little bit, like this. And you feel that pulling sensation, both in the back, in the lungs, in the chest. And then now repeat. The last one is the sound, the vibration. Vibration from the sound chanting is very powerful too. Why? Chanting can help to heal, to open channels, because each organ, the system, has like a vibration. The vibration produced by the sound would join together, merging together with the vibration of the organs. Once these two vibrations are in sync with each other, resonance is produced. Once resonance is produced, miracle happens. So if you can put these things together in one practice, in 10 minutes, it will help you to regain your energy so quickly. We got sick because we lose energy. Once we don't have enough energy to operate in the systems, some part of the systems have to shut down. That's the moment we got sick. We feel uncomfortable. When these things continue, then bigger disease would develop in the system. So if you every day spend like 10 minutes like this to practice this simple movement, you have no chance for energy blockages got created in your body.
How y'all reeling with that? How y'all reeling with that? You know what I mean? And, so you got this practitioner here, Master Chung Yi Lin. You got others to dig on. We're all healing up, you know what I mean? So he says a lack of energy, or, they're jamming up our energy. He's talking sound and frequency, you know what I mean? We've been on that 4-3-2, that 9 spiral up. And, we got a lot more to dig on, and, a lot to do when it comes to sound and vibration and frequency, my Nagi. We're talking the key. I think I'm gonna get this one for the dismount here, so we can learn some more of this Qigong, or Qigong. But just remember the Qi is the key. The key, like the kid tie, like the kid tie. You know what I'm saying? And this got me thinking about Prester a little bit, man. I've been jonesing. I've been jonesing, man, to continue, in our Prester flow, and we're coming in hot, but I just want to kind of dig on some stuff for fun, you know what I mean, with Prester as we are in this high vibration. Get a couple paragraphs from this link right here, The Curious Myths of the Middle Ages, and Prester John, and then bring it into this historical Prester John article. And we got so much drop coming in, man. My Nagas have not stopped digging on the drop, you know what I mean? And I want to dig on some of this historical Prester John and bring it in with the Kara Katai. The Katai is the Cathay, the Cathay is the Kai, is the key, all that. So we start to really see how everything, really connects, man, in real time. We in battle time, man. So, when you talk Preston, you know what I mean? Let's just pick it up from here. Yeah, they like to, they like to make things, just one dimensional when it comes to the Preston. Oh, is he a Nestorian, Christian monarch, da 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 da, fighting against the Sultan, boom, boom, boom. And then you start peeling back the layers to see what the energy is, what's the key, what's the Kara, right? What's the kata, right? And karate, you got your katas, right? All this is, as he was doing, these movements, this flow, these katas, these Kara katas. The Kara, they say, means black or melanated in Turkic. So you got this melanated purity. They say the Cathay, the Katai, connects to being pure, like a pure land, like these Nagas of the pure land, promised land flow. So pure what? Pure energy, pure frequency, pure vibration. Now let's pick it up from here. It says this Unk Khan was a real individual. He lost his life in the year 1203. Kushshik, Prince of Naaman, the follower of Korgan or Khan, Khan or Ka or Ki. He fell in 1218. Marco Polo, the Venetian traveler, identifies Unk Khan with Prester John. He says, I would now tell you of the deeds of the Tartars, how they gained the mastery, spread over the whole earth. The Tartars dwelt between Georgia and Bargul, where this is a vast plain and level country on which are neither cities nor forts, but capital, pasturage, and water. They had no chief of their town, but paid to Prester Johannes tribute of the greatness of this Prester Johannes, who was properly called Khan. The whole world spoke. The Tartars gave him one of every 10 head of cattle. So they paid a tithe of 10%, right? When Prester John noticed that they were increasing, he feared them. He dodged the hijack. That planned how he could injure them. So this is Marco Polo's take on, of course, he's linked in with Genghis Khan. So he's going to have a take of the Prester that's going to be in favor of Genghis Khan. He feared them, and therefore, this was his ploy of, jamming up Genghis Khan and his people. And then this gave them the reason to say we have to slay the king, right? And you'll get, as we've gotten, that there are more than one Presters. So the Prester that got slayed that they're talking about could be a son of David, not David himself, These are things that we've been investigating. So he determined, therefore, to scatter them, and he sent barons to do this. But the Tartars guessed what Prester John proposed, and they went away into the wide waste of the north, where they might be beyond his reach. Then he goes on to relate how Genghis Khan became the head of the Tartars, and how he fought against Prester John, and after a desperate fight, overcame and slew him. So is it the Prester? It seems to be adding up that this was a son of Prester John, could be David Salslan, these different things. So this is happening, historically speaking, in the early 1200s. Now it says the Syriac Chronicle of the Jacobite primate, Gregory Bar Hebraeus. So this Hebraeus account is also in Prester John the Legend and its sources. That's in the Drop Library. Go get the Drop. Let the Aqua Tibet Sa. This also identifies Unk Khan with Prester John in the year of the Greeks, 1514, of the Arabs, 599, which is AD 1202. We got to get back in chronology. He said, how could it be for the Arabs, 599, and for the Greeks, 1514? That lets you know that whatever they're telling us is 2022 is all wrong. It says, when Unk Khan was the Christian King John, ruled over a stock of barbarian Huns called Kurgit. Genghis Khan served him with great zeal. So Genghis Khan served Prester John. And if he ain't fake, neither is the Prester. And so this is bringing the David flow, to a whole nother reality. When John observed the superiority and serviceableness of the other, he envied him. So they're saying that Genghis Khan envied Prester John. So I mean, this whole thing is very pro Genghis, and you're gonna get this in the investigation, right? Because they're gonna have a different side to it. So yeah, they're saying that John observed Genghis' superiority and servableness and envied him, plotted to seize and murder him. But two sons of Khan, having heard this, told it to Genghis, whereupon he and his comrades fled by night and secreted themselves. Next morning, Khan took possession of the Tartar tents, but found them empty. Then the party of Genghis fell upon him, and they met by the spring called Balshuna, and the side of Genghis won that day, and the followers of Khan were compelled to yield. They met again several times till Khan was utterly discomfited and was slain himself, and his wives, sons, and daughters carried into captivity. Now this sounds a lot, like that, Persian captivity, Babylonian captivity, on all that, and the wise princes of Judah being, called in to, the whole Nebuchadnezzar flow. And then here comes Daniel and Mishael and Abednego. And so this is what has been correlating a whole lot right around this time in history. Seems to be correlating, with the book of Daniel, with, the even the Maccabean flow somewhat. I mean, a lot is coming into this. So this is why we're paying attention to it. So from here, it says they were carried off into captivity, his wives, sons, daughters. So now they're marrying the daughters of David away. They're marrying, his wives are, becoming concubines of Genghis and this whole flow. Now, when you put all this together with the whole Moabite Israelite situation as well, it comes to life even more as well. So they met several times till Khan was discomfited. He was slain himself, his wives, sons, and daughters carried into captivity. Yet we must consider that King John, the Tajir, Tajir, was not cast down for naught, nay, rather, because he had turned his heart from the fear of Christ, his Lord. So then, since they Christianized him, he must have got slayed because he turned away from Christ, who had exalted him. So, in our terms, could this mean that, the reason why he got rolled up on was because, there was some part of the code that he was violating, you know what I'm saying? Or, that type of thing. I mean, this is what we have to look into further because we're getting their interpretation of these events. And we know they ain't jiving, with just a greater perspective of what's happening with King David at this time. But I still like to get Genghis's take on things because this is the reason why, to him, he's invading King David and the Presta right here. It says, yet we must consider he wasn't cast down for nothing because he turned away from the fear of his Christos, who had exalted him, or the power of Hawa that had exalted him, and had taken a wife of the Zenish nation, called Karkata, because he forsook the religion of his ancestors and followed strange gods. Okay. I mean, this is the investigation. So did this particular son of Dawi, that they're talking about rolling up on, you know, did, you know, did he follow strange gods? Were there other gods in play? Did it come, through this strange marriage or, these different things? Again, you marrying these foreigners had more to do with the gods that were being brought and introduced to the Khans. And this is what the mixing and not mixing was all about. It's all about the strange gods. Therefore, God took the government from him and gave it to one better than he and whose heart was right before God. So did Genghis Khan have this pure heart, or, are we looking at, again, very similar to a Nebuchadnezzar flow, how another ruler is being raised up to conquer Israel because Israel was out of code. Remember, the presta is the function, you know what I mean? So it's not about a man, it's about the function of being in code and the power that comes with that. And we've been talking about this key being one of them, you know what I'm saying? So you lose your powers when you sever your connection. You lose your land when you sever your connection. So some of the earlier travelers, such as John de Plano Carpini and Marco Polo, in disabusing the popular mind of the belief in Prester John as a mighty Asiatic Christian monarch, unintentionally turned the popular faith in that individual into a new direction. They spoke of a black people in Abyssinia or Abaskia in Ethiopia, which, by the way, they call Middle India. Whoa. So you got a black people in India, right? In Middle India, called Ethiopia, which we know is a later term. Abyssinia would be a previous term. And we're talking about Prester John of Abyssinia. Khan of Khans, Red Goose, Negus. You know what I'm saying? So Regal Negro. Now they're calling Ethiopia Middle India. That's why this investigation is so important, especially with orientation. And as a great people subject to a Christian monarch. So again, they're using this term Christian very vaguely. He ain't a Christian like they're calling Christian. They're just saying he's related to these Hebrews. Anything related to the Bible at all to them was Christianity. So if you're King David, to them you're a Christian because you are in the tenets of, their doctrine to a degree, But then they call them Nestorian Christians, which connected us to an old king renowned for wise counsel. We're just talking Ki and Shi. We're talking China, and we're talking the Kara Ki or the Kara Kata. Yeah. Marco Polo says that the true monarch of Abyssinia is Christ. Well, maybe that's their Abyssinia. But that it is governed by 6 kings, 3 of whom are Christians and 3 Saracens, and they are in league with the Sultan of Aden. Bishop Jordanus, in his description of the world, accordingly sets down Abyssinia as the kingdom of Prester John. And such was the popular impression, which was confirmed by the appearance at intervals of ambassadors at European courts from the king of Abyssinia. The discovery of the Cape of Good Hope was due partly to a desire manifested in Portugal to open communications with his monarch, and King John II sent 2 men learned in Oriental languages through Egypt to the court of Abyssinia. The might and dominion of this prince, who had replaced the Tartar chief in the popular creed as Prester John, was of course greatly exaggerated and was supposed to extend across Arabia and Asia to the wall of China. So to them, it's so much power, it must be exaggerated. It's, he's known as Prester John, king of the 3 Indias, so that's just too much power. You got all the Indias, you got the whole world. You're the king of the world. The spread of geographical knowledge has contracted the area of his dominion, and a critical acquaintance with history has exploded the myth which invested Khan, the nomad chief, and all the attributes of a demigod. So they're comparing him damn near to the power of a demigod because he got his chi, because he got his key. Uniting in one the utmost pretensions of a pope and the proudest claims of a monarch. And now you got a pope today who's the king of Vatican City. And so he's a king and a priest, right? Priest king. But that office is designated for the prester. Now, no matter which prester you're talking, like no matter which David you're talking, some are going up, some are going down, some are going off, some are going on. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one, but you have this redeeming quality as they get in code and, keep their code and keep Hawa's commandment, that they have this connection that cannot be messed with. Can't nobody touch it. Can't nobody rump with it. When you're in code, just like the kings of Israel, you got good kings and bad kings. So you find one bad king, it don't mean that the kingdom or the kingship is bad. You know what I'm saying? The office, the function of the prester is by function to lead you to that water, to make sure you in code and to, protect all that needs to be protected within all the vortexes, to get more life force and to keep the hijack at bay. To be on the neck bone of hijack city is the function of the prester, to keep the shalawam. And though some try to fulfill that function, many fall short, right? It's rare to truly connect with a true prester. And it's been so long that we forgot what that vibe is like. We're just talking about the historical Prester John. Great article here. Charles E. Noel, you know what I mean? And, just skimming through the intro, then I'm going to jump to page 8. The historical Prester John. Man or myth, Prester John played a great role from the 12th century unto well after the discovery of America. These copper-colored cons found here. He was an established part of the European pattern of thought as a potential Christian ally. Well, if he was Christian, he would be a definite Christian ally. So I'll let you know he ain't Christian. But they needed an ally against the Moor. Even though it's a more and more war, right? Even they had their inner fighting. They had what they called the dirty Moors and the treacherous Moor. Not all the houses was rocking with, some of the greatest treachery that was being committed. So, you know what I mean? They're coming out looking for really a takeover. And we really see that, especially in them searching and discovering America, so-called. They're looking for a takeover. He figured in plans for the later Crusades and thus had a place in European ideas of world strategy. By entering the calculations of both Henry the Navigator and Columbus, he helped to inspire the great geographical discoveries. So this brother that they try to look for and connect to Ethiopia and all this stuff, this Naga popped off. He's the reason for all this world strategy you see. He's the reason for all these European ideas of world strategy. He inspired the great geographical discoveries. Still later, amid conditions that had ceased to be medieval, he was a factor, listen up, he was a factor in the hopes and plans of Emperor Charles V. You know what black ass King Charles looked like. So even King Charles, he was still a factor in the hopes and plans of Charles, which means that it might not, whether this is happening in the 1200s or the 1500s with King Charles and them, wow, you got Preston still popping off. Even after the discovery of America. Managa, even after the discovery of America. So let's skip over to page 8 right quick for the dead smile. And I tell you, man, all this power got to be coming from somewhere. I can't talk key without talking the Preston. Can't talk key to, without talking who got the keys. Hosea 3. Why does David have the keys? Why must you search for Dawid? I'm not talking about the David they think they slew or the Preston they think they slew. I'm talking about the Preston they could never slay. But we're just talking about the black cat thing. Yeah, man. The empire was called Kara, which means black, Kitai, or Cathay. Kitai is your key. Key, you put a C instead of a K, you got chi. Just like they put a C here and made it Cathay. Chi, key, we talking black, though. Why we talking black, my nigga? Why we talking Abyssinian? Why we talking Ethiopia? Why we talking India? They call it Middle India, they said, right? And its ruler bore the title Gur Khan or Kor Khan or Kara, G's and C's. Khan, king of the world. Ain't no Christian. He's the king of the world. David is the king of the world. That's why you see Kawhi and David. He's been given the keys to be the king. Khan, which he may have assumed before leaving China. Most of his subjects were Muslim Turks. Uh-oh. They admit that they're the Turks. They're the Ottomans. They're the Muslims, right? Islam, brother. This is why they're beefing with you, but it's the same Moabite-Israelite war. It's the same more and more war. You got Charles V popping off, factoring him in his plans. That's why they get nervous when we dig on the Preston. We digging on the king of the world. They were subjects to the Khan, the Rex, and the Goose. They want to act like, oh yeah, brother, it's all one thing. Black people. No, it's never been like that. It's tribal. We don't need to separate from you. It's already been separated. There's already a Khan of Khans. But the Chi, or the Khitan nucleus that had accompanied Yellow Tashi on his adventures remained true to the Chinese cultural heritage and continue to practice Buddhism. Yeah, man. Well, who's Buddha? Now we got to get back into Forbidden Histories by David Lowe comparing Buddha with King Solomon. So this cultural heritage is connected with Solomon, it's connected with the press, it's connected with David, it's connected with the king of the world, the Kar Katai, or Black Cat They. We're just talking key. Who got the key? Hey, man. Just want to have some fun with the Presta. You know what I mean? And we on your tracks, Presta John. We just been talking keys. What is the key? What is the Katai? What is the vitalizing essence, Panaga? What is the mysterious substance of unknown origin? The living spirit can be extracted. That's all we've been talking about. And that's all they've been studying, the effects of key training. We're just talking Kara. We're just talking Katai. These are the type of wars, man, that, you know, remind you of them Lemurian, Atlantean, and ancient ones and all that stuff. Because of the divergence of the key beam at a distance of 100 meters or above, key energy was diverged and its effect on the receiver seemed to be weakened. Key energy may be absorbed by humidity or dust particles in the air. Oh, is that why they spray? Is that what the chemtrails is all about? Whoa, I told you we gonna crack their code because we keeping our code. We gonna break their spell down. All you got to do is be aware of the particles, quantum physics, double slit experiment. You be aware of it. The awareness itself means what? That now it's being measured and now it's going to choose only one possibility. And instead of being hell, it could be heaven for you. But they've been spraying their dust particles in the air because the key energy is absorbed. I'm just getting excited. So they're trying to absorb the energy that's coming from what? The sun, the energy, right? The flow, the Shekinah flow. They're trying to absorb it with these particles. That's why they're spraying everywhere, because they don't want you to get the key. Although the further study is required to identify the exact cause, it was rather surprising that the intensity of the key beam did not decay too much at all at 100 meters. Key is not decaying. They're shooting laser beams, my nut. We've been talking about the Qigong research. I'm going to get that for the dismount. A Chinese Qigong research group found that key energy has an infrared component. Now you got to study infrared energy and technology. This was confirmed by Japanese scientists, my naga. There are reports that key energy may have components represented by electrostatic energy, magnetic energy, low frequency sound energy, and so on. We have observed that key energy seems to have a component of near infrared radiation because it was blocked by a black acrylic plate and aluminum foil. It was blocked by an optical filter in the visible range, but not blocked by a filter in the near infrared range. Man, what does it mean? They're studying on how to block it. Not only are they discussing the weapon itself, but they're actually trying to figure out a way against it. You know, they're trying to figure out a way to block it. Wow. And they say, hey, man, it's not caused by no hypnotic effect. It's caused by the energy, frequency, and vibration. But boy, is it a powerful one. You know, first you need to unblock yourself, raise your vibration up yourself. Keeping the code does that for the whole tribe. It raises all of our vibration up for the whole tribe, man. And that's all we're talking about, man. We got so much more to talk about, and I really want to, take my time with this even more, man. We're just talking about the effects of the key, and the effects of the tribe, encode with it. And we'll get, one more for the dismount. My naga the water for, choosing up and vibrating up with a naga and digging on this key. So let go for the dismount.
Joy, it will always be, but energy can be transformed. Any illnesses, any forms of energy in the entire universe, it is just a form of energy.
I still want to get that from the top, man. Hold up. We gotta dodge this hijack. Dodge the hijack. With our key, we can dodge anything. Feeling like the Matrix Jedi over here, man. Let's get it from here.
Our body, everything around us just filled with wisdom if you pay attention to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will help you.
Notice he's counting 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 plus 3 plus 2. Bang.
Big deal in your life. Qigong, this technique, in India, partly is yoga. In Japan, it's a Reiki. Reiki actually is from Qigong too. It's a Reiki means internal energy. Internal energy. The Reiki, this word means internal Qi. Different culture, different languages. That's okay. Eventually people will understand. When you come to this level, everything is energy. Everything is about love. Everything is about the beautiful vibration in the divine, helping us to maintain everything we are having. Just like Einstein said, energy cannot be created. It has always been. Energy cannot be destroyed. It will always be. But energy can be transformed. Any illnesses, any forms of energy in the entire universe, it is just a form of energy. It's always in the process of transforming. The question is it transformed for better or for worse? In our daily life, our body, everything around us just filled with wisdom if you pay attention to. If you pay attention to, everything could become a beautiful tool to help you to live a beautiful, happy, and healthy life. You know why? Because in our body, we have 12 major meridians. They all start or end in the hands and the feet. Grabbing the hands, stumping the feet, open up all these meridians.
And just right quick, it goes back to that 12 thing, 12, 12 tribes, Christianity, New Testament got the 12 apostles, right? But it's always on this 12 flow, as well. This is real deep, even with the 12 chromatic scales. We got to get back in that with the Tiamat and how she's supposed to be over the chromatic dragons. But this chromatic situation connects to the primary colors, the sounds, and yes, the chromatic scale. And this chromatic scale is just octaves, frequency, and it's connecting specifically, to your body parts, all this stuff. So let's dig on it. You got the lung channel, the spleen channel, the heart channel, the kidney channel, the pericardium channel of hand, the liver channel of foot. You got the large intestine channel of hand, the stomach channel of foot, the small intestine channel of hand, the bladder channel of foot, the Sangeo channel of hand, and the gallbladder channel of foot. So, hey, is it play? Or is it time to open up? They say meridians, these are the dragon lines in your body. We're talking that dragon.
Meridians, the channel is open, energy can flow, the energy got transformed. And nowadays, a lot of people have heart problems. Even if you don't have heart problems, you have some other energy challenges because of the heart meridian. The heart energy is not working properly. Mm-hmm. If this exercise can help you to keep a balance to your heart, if you don't have any blockages in your heart, right? If you have energy blockages in your heart, or you want to heal your heart arteries and the muscles in the heart, now this is an exercise can help you to heal that. I'm sharing this exercise to you. I don't mean that after you do Qigong, you don't need to go see a doctor. you do need to see a doctor. Together with the Qigong, with the yoga, with other exercises you're practicing, it can help you to heal faster. But to me, Qigong can help to heal with so many dimensions. It is more powerful. So this exercise goes like this. Clap your hands 9 times and then grab your elbows. This elbows inside 9 times from left side, then the right side, and lift up your arm and cup your armpit 9 times, and then right side 9 times, and then repeat 2 more times. All right, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you clap it form, right? Not like this. That doesn't work. Because all these energy points connecting to the chest, to the lungs, and to the heart. And under the armpit over here, there's a very powerful energy point connecting to the heart. We call it the heart saving point. So keep this simple exercise in your life. The best time to do it is around noontime, from 11 to 1 o'clock. Find this 2 minutes and do it. It will help you a big deal in your life. Qigong is very simple, but it's very powerful. With your love, it helps you even more. With unconditional love, it can help you heal even faster.
Hey, with the code, hey, you are limitless.
Close your eyes and relax. Focus on your belly button. That's the vitality center, the belly button, your navel. Visualize there's a beautiful light shining there, and take a deep breath. You see the divine energy is growing in your vitality center. With each breath, you see it's growing bigger and bigger, and then you see your whole body enveloped in this light. In this light, you see all the energy blockages you don't need in your body as an extra energy. Now at this moment, in this light of your God, your Jesus, your masters, or simply just in the light of your unconditional love, you invite them.
Obviously, you got to dodge your own hijack at all costs. Let's go.
To transform into beautiful butterflies, going away, returning back to the universe. Energy has no good, no bad. Just the extra energy in your body you don't need anymore. Any tumors, any arthritis, they are only extra energy now at this moment. In the light of your unconditional love, they all get transformed into butterflies going away. And you feel so blessed and so loved. And then you send this light to your family. Everyone in the family is being blessed in this light. And they're very well protected in this light too. No matter where they're going to travel, this light will be with them, helping them, protecting them. And then you see this light continues to grow.
We growing. I mean, is this the spark? Are we learning about our own spark? Are we learning Anaga to, truly connect with Hawa within us? You know what I'm saying? And not be so external about everything. Connect within us, with ourselves, with our tribe. Hey, it's all happening, man.
Body, the community, neighborhood, they're just filled with joy. Every day they're living a life with abundance. And you allow this energy to spread all over the world. The whole globe is bathed in this green light.
That's the
golden light on the top.
You don't live in no ball.
Seeing all the beings living in this light, filled with the joy and happiness.
But for us, we'll be spreading the frequency all across the earth plane, all to Nagaville. Nagaville beyond the poles, beyond the barriers. We're gonna send this energy to Nagaville all across the plane, man. That we are here, that they can feel our key, that we once again have the key because we keep the code. You don't get no keep without key, my naga. You gotta keep the code. Allow.
Happiness and in peace. Then you see your heart, your energy is growing. The unconditional love from your heart is really growing, vibrating throughout every cell in your body. You feel so connected, so grounded. You promise yourself, in the rest of this circle of my life, I'm going to allow myself to become a love radiator. Any place I go to, I will allow people to feel my joy and love and allow them to share my joy and love. And because of my presence, everyone's life becomes better. And together, we can make this world in this way to become a better place for every species of life to enjoy. Our masters from ancient time to nowadays, please bless us. Our divine, our God, our Jesus, and Buddha, our Lao Tzu, and masters, Allah, of any practices.
Yeah, this is when we dodge that hijack completely, because not all energy is the same. And not all people are praying to the same power. You can't just ignore thousands of years of this pagan idol worship from all these people throwing stones and, all of their Zeuses. And let's ignore, the councils of Trent and the councils of Nicaea. Let's ignore Columbus and the manifest destiny. Let's ignore all these idols brought to our shore and call on all of them, right? So, but that's why we got to dig on it. That's why they can't truly get to the true, power point. They can't reach that cross. You know what I'm saying? They can't get there, man. They got too much hijack to get there. They can lead you to the water, but it's for you to surf the wave, you know what I'm saying, and bring it all together, man. Bring it all together, man. Dodge the hijack.
Please make sure we are walking the right path.
That's all we talking about.
See the light in your heart going down to your lower dantian, the belly button. See the light as an energy ball spinning, getting brighter, smaller, even brighter, even smaller. Then it becomes an energy pill. And you tuck it deep in behind the navel. With joy, take a deep breath.
Okay. Hey, I think we got some things we can do.
Then you open.
I think this was a great step. A great step to digging on something that they really been trying to master, this key energy. Key energy, which can be enhanced through the practice of Nishino breathing method, was reported to have beneficial health effects. Although key energy can play an important role in complementary and alternative medicine, and yet it is unknown how key energy is generated. It is unknown, boss. It's the dragon. Transmitted through air and received by another individual. You can send life or you can send death, Managa. It's a weapon, it's a beam, right? We previously proposed that key energy may include near infrared radiation and that the wavelength was between 800 and 2700 nanometers. Since key energy is reflected by a mirror, we believe that the key beam has a small divergent angle. What does it mean that the key beam has a divergence angle? It can also be guided in a desired direction. Imagine being able to guide your key in your desired direction. You're talking about weaponizing the Nagas. This is why they're spraying and polluting the air and doing all this stuff. They're trying to absorb the ki, but the ki is getting through. They've underestimated the ki, the ka. They underestimated the ka. The acrylic mirror reflection experiment suggests that the wavelength may be between 800 and 1600 nanometers. Using a linear variable interference filter, we found that ki energy may have a peak around 1000 nanometers. We have also observed that sensitive practitioners responded to ki sent from a distance of 100 meters. All of these results suggest that ki energy can be guided as a directional beam with a small divergence angle. The beam can be reflected by a mirror, and ki energy may have a specific wavelength. Since these properties are characteristics of the laser radiation, we propose a quantum physics-based mechanism of light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation, or laser. Eleazar, free Phoenix, talking to dragon energy. Wow, for the dismount, my naga. Hey, con up to my nagas that always stick around for the dismount, because you know we be going in on a dismount. Ain't no dismount like a 432 dismount. Let's go. Oh man. Since the properties are characteristics of the laser radiation, we propose a quantum physics-based mechanism. We just talked double slit experiment. They weren't expecting us to bring that up or have any knowledge of that, but we've been digging on that for at least 5-6 years in the ether, my naga. That same double split experiment, double split, where, just by measuring a particle or observing a particle or observing period, you collapse the wave pattern of all possibilities that it would be hitting if it wasn't being measured or observed. Hawa told us to be witnesses, to observe the code, meditate on the code, breathe the code. Now they want to talk quantum. Once you observe, my noggin, you collapse the wave pattern. Compare that to the ki energy, my noggin. You collapse the wave pattern. Something that you thought, you're not even thinking about it. Didn't Mama tell you in Proverbs 8 that some of y'all be thoughtless? You must be thoughtless if you're not breathing. But because you can breathe without thinking about it, you've taken your breath in vanity. Now you're definitely out of code. Rule number 2, no vanity on Hawa's name. Wow. Your breath, your security. You don't want a vain breath, and you don't want vain security, Ka. They're talking quantum. We're talking collapsing the wave pattern on paradise. If it must be collapsed by observation. You want to observe your family doing well? You want to observe your family in paradise? We all do. Well, then you must collapse the wave pattern. You must witness. You must observe. By observing, this ki, you are now creating. You know what I'm saying? You're collapsing the wave pattern on a particular possibility for that ki energy. You are creating a possibility specific to your desires. Whether it's shooting a beam, a particle beam, whether it's healing you or somebody, you're taking that energy and you're molding, you're framing it, you're shaping it as Hawa, our framer and shaper, frames and shapes. In the world of energy, they'll call it, positive and negative energy, but they're not talking about negative like out of code energy. That's just their scientific term in English for positive and negative. They're talking masculine and female. They're talking framer, shaper. Because what's breath without security, and what's security without your breath? But once you witness, you collapse the wave pattern, you're talking quantum. And they propose a quantum physics-based mechanism of, quote, light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation. That's what a laser is. So you are the laser. You got the key for the generation of key energy. Volunteers responded to key even with the blindfold. This suggests that the skin, back to the melanin, must be detecting key energy. We propose that the detector at the skin level may also have a stimulated emission mechanism which amplifies the weak incident infrared radiation. Key is as an infrared laser radiation key detector at the skin levels are. So they're talking about the keyword. So then they want to bring you to China. China, Qi, has been known for 4,000 years. In Japan literature, the documentation of Qi goes back 1,500 years. This is not limited to the East. In the West, biblical literature suggests that curing sickness by extending a hand was practiced by a gifted individual, right? So before they bring their JC in, just know that our Magi's been popping off. You got Joshua making the sun stand still, man. You got them Moshe parting the waters, right? You know what I mean? We're talking key energy. My naga, whoa. They brought it to the script. They brought it to biblical literature, right? So they brought it to the Hebrews. So they brought it to the Hebrews, to the Ibaru, to the Khan, back to the Preston. So what they're saying is Preston John had that key energy. Moshe had the key. Joshua had the key way before their JC remake, Phantom and Duplication, Love to Yourself to Real, for breaking that down. And the Tokef, but not, that's that strong power. We just talking key. Since then, thousands of accounts have been published. Millions of people have talked about key energy. Practical, clinical, philosophical, scientific studies have been actively reported in journals of complementary and alternative medicine. However, no reasonable mechanism which can be examined or refuted from the scientific point of view has been presented. It's still unknown. Without a scientific model, we cannot advance the recon. Therefore, we will present in this article a hypothetical model because we just don't know for the mechanism of how key energy is generated, transmitted through air, and received by another individual. Obviously, this model is still preliminary and still it needs further rigorous investigation. However, we decided to present this model for two reasons. Namely, currently, there is no model to explain how key energy is generated. There is no scientific model. Compare that with the study of melanin. They're still using some type of A sample, but that's just one of millions. Like, there's no model, no true model for melanin, man. Melanin is unknown. Key is unknown. And the dragon is also of unknown origin, Manage. It's still mysterious, but it's the vessel in which the spirit is contained. I'm just talking the dragon, which is unknown. This is why we're digging on key. Free Phoenix. Hey, free yourselves. So because there's no model to explain how key energy is generated and transmitted through the air, we hope that the presentation of our model will stimulate the progress of scientific investigation of key energy, man. And they popped off. You got the link. Pull it up. You know, this is their model. Their diagram, again, looks like, that one punch Bruce Lee flow. You know what I mean? He got the key. You know what I'm saying? You can see the diagrams of how they're trying to measure it, mirrors they're trying to use to reflect it. Dang. Imagine being able to reflect that ki. So they taking ki real serious. You know, I think these people want the ki, man. What about y'all? I think they want the ki. They flying through the air, man. I think they want the ki real bad, man. So we'll get back on this ki business. You know, just know that we surfing the wave with a steady flow. Try some of them exercises, you know what I'm saying? The sit down joints, and definitely breathe, and, you know, just take it real slow. At least be conscious. Because again, once you're aware of the energy, now you're able to collapse the wave pattern and direct that energy and create. As we have been created, so are we creators in this flow and the frequency when we are sourced up, when we are in source, in code. So keep the code, my noggin, and just don't give up. And raise your energy, raise your ki, so you could be, you know, throwing these hijacks around, something like this here, man, in Nagaville. Nagaville. Yeah, this is gonna be the Nagaville introduction when the hijack come in. This is gonna get blown back, man, by that ki. Calm. Baby, bye. Bobby. Bobby. Oh, he's spinning. Oh. Hey-oh. He's out of here. There don't want no mas. There don't want no mas. Okay, maybe if we form a line this way, we won't get hit directly by the ki. Let me do my dance. Let me walk on him. Let me walk on him. Woo. 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 You got the ki. Oh. Blow their house down, man. Blow their house down, man. Oh, yeah. They don't want no more of this ki. Oh, they're going to come all together. A few going to get hurt by this, so watch out for them. Here they come. You might get approached by a bunch of hijacks at the same damn time. You still going to need that ki. Scripts say we was going up against hundreds, thousands at a time. How you defeat the hijack. Oh, go get him, because a few people still on the ground, man. That's a lot of energy right there, man. Hey, man, shout out to the Qigong Master James Key. Straight up like that, man. And, you know, the script do say, you know, these mighty men and mighty aquas, you know, being able to blow hundreds down at a time, man. So this is starting to make a lot of sense. And they brought it into biblical, you know, literature and comparisons. But compared with you, they ain't got nothing on you, right? So they're just giving you a demonstration of what you can do when you focus, when you stay up, when you suit up, my nugget. And when we keep the code and choose up. Hey, this has been a discussion on ki. We will get back to it. We always love talking inner ki, energy. Ahab to the real ones. Shabbat up, man. Get your rest, get your meditation, and get your ki. Wow.